Dragon Ball is one of the greatest anime of all time, and the specific section of Dragon Ball Z is my favorite anime of all time. Much like with any great anime, DBZ contains its fair share of story arcs, with each one having its defenders arguing why it's the best one. But I'd argue that no story arc in the entire Dragon Ball franchise is as divisive as the Buu Saga, other than the entirety of Dragon Ball GT, which we're not going to talk about today.
Well, your move.
Please have a seat.
Looking back, it's not really hard to figure out why it got a mixed reception. Not only does it come after the original ending, but also it has the first major time jump since the jump from Dragon Ball to Dragon Ball Z. The story surrounding Majin Buu is one that I still enjoy wholeheartedly, but I have to point out some of the things that held it back. So with that being said, here are the 5 worst things about the Buu Saga. It might be easy to forget, and newer fans of the franchise might not even be aware of this, but at one point, the rest of the Z-Fighters were almost as important as the Saiyans. Having at least one or more of the Z-Fighters be relevant was always when the show was at its best. Now, this wasn't just a problem in the Buu Saga. This had already started happening in the Cell Saga, with Piccolo being the exception, but more on that later. With such a massive time jump from the Cell Saga to the Buu Saga, they could have at least done something like have the Z-Fighters take their training seriously. Everyone likes to harp on Gohan for going soft, but with the exception of Vegeta, the whole ass Earth went soft. Krillin became a family man and even let his hair grow back out. They just arrived on the scene and Deborah takes him out by spitting on them. But hey, it's not gonna be like Majin Buu is such a serious threat that Vegeta has to try and take him out by blowing himself up in a sacrifice that would mean absolutely nothing. This is a controversial take, but Vegeta's sacrifice was literally for nothing. It accomplished nothing. After Vegeta turned heel and then he and Goku ran one of the greatest fades in anime history, Goku's like, hey, let's take down Buu together. You can't do it alone. Then Vegeta's just like, hey, wanna bet? He then has a heart-to-heart with his son, and then he takes on Majin Buu by himself. Why? Because he's Vegeta, that's why. He gives this emotional speech, as Vegeta is one to do, before going out in a blaze of glory. It's an all-time classic Dragon Ball moment, and the Prince of Saiyans goes out like a heroic warrior, and his redemption arc is finally complete. The galactic threat of Majin Buu is now gone, and Vegeta has gone out like the hero that he— Sir Majin Buu literally came back the next episode. And before anyone tries to compare the two, no, this is not like what happened with Goku and Cell. Buu didn't show back up with a Zenkai boost and a new level of power, he just popped up.
Like daisies!
How are you gonna do that to Vegeta after giving him such a great character arc with the whole Majin Vegeta plotline? This man was robbed of his moment to finally get a win against a final boss. But you know what? It's all good. It's cool. Don't worry, Vegeta. I'm sure you'll get your get back in Dragon Ball Super.
Oh, you'd think so, wouldn't you?
Now, if you've seen the Buu Saga, and dear God, I hope you have if you're watching this video, you know that Gohan is the main focus way in the background, but a big problem with Vegeta's sacrifice is that once he's gone, we're pretty much stuck with 2 pint-sized party members to try and take down Majin Buu. Not to get in too much hot water with consecutive hot takes, but the whole Gotenks plotline, yeah, it kinda sucked.
Alright, Dragon Ball fans, you'll finally get to see 2 Saiyans fused together. And those 2 warriors will be...
The 2 kids who are still learning how to color in the lines.
Right.
Now, I'm not saying Gotenks wasn't fun. He was a neat novelty, but basing an entire section of the story around this pairing of kids who aren't even tall enough to ride most roller coasters being the Earth's best hope to take down Buu was just way too drawn out, and it also cheapens Buu as a villain. This move worked with Gohan versus Cell because we'd been told how much power was in Gohan since he was younger than they were. But with Goten and Trunks, we've known them for like 5 minutes. This Trunks was not the same as future Trunks, and boy would we find that out the hard way.
Hey, he's behind you! This is for Gohan!
You're going home, Pan. Hand it over now.
Well, your move.
They've never fought anyone, they've never been in a battle, but they've both already figured out how to go Super Saiyan? What? How?
I don't know.
After these 2, I half expected the next one to go Super Saiyan in the womb. Oh my god, can you imagine Super Saiyan infants or Super Saiyan toddlers? You would need one hell of a strong babysitter. If there's one member of the Z Fighters who gets the most amount of disrespect, it's gotta be Piccolo. At least the disrespect towards Krillin was balanced out by him getting Android 18. But let's not forget who helped him seal the deal.
You should thank Krillin 18. He stayed at your side the whole time after Cell spat you out.
The man has literally been a pivotal member of the cast since day one. So seeing him get treated like he's not literally one of the greatest warriors alive who had bled for the planet was just... well, I can't decide if it's more sad or infuriating. So let's go with both.
Yeah, it might not matter to you because you're old, but we're just little kids.
Listen here, you little crotch goblins. You see this man right here? This man? Piccolo raised this man. Without Piccolo, Him-Han doesn't exist. Now just y'all wait till Him-Han shows up. I'm sure he'll show right up and fix all the problems. If you're a fan of this channel or you've watched any of my Dragon Ball Z content before, y'all know how much I love Gohan. So when the Buu Saga started and he had given up on training to focus on school, I honestly wasn't even mad. The man spent his childhood getting pulled into battle after battle after battle. The only thing that he ever got for his birthday was more PTSD, just in case last year's was starting to wear off. He was the most powerful fighter alive who just wanted a peaceful life. So seeing him live life at school was actually pretty refreshing. Like, look how happy he is to be living a normal life. Look at that smile. But when the World Tournament came a-knocking and Goku decided to come back to Earth for the day, his ass should have already known there was a fresh batch of trauma right around the corner.
No, Krillin!
Hey, I know you're the one person here who has not been training like a madman. I know, let's let him fight Deborah. Of course he was gonna struggle with him. This man's been practicing throwing paper airplanes, not hands. But then it happens. Mystic Gohan is born. And that's when we're thinking, yes, finally! Look at the confidence on his face. We were all gonna be rewarded for wading through all of the hype surrounding this new version of Gohan. But then Buu's cheap ass just absorbs some more people to get an advantage, and Goku throws Gohan up a Taru earring in hopes of them fusing into something that would give Buu nightmares. And then it happens.
Here, catch!
He drops the earring.
It just hurts.
Why? Why would you do this? Why in the holy hell would you hype up Gohan for half of the f***ing arc if you were just gonna go back to Goku? They seriously hyped this man up the whole time just to make us watch as he fumbles. I haven't been hurt this bad as a child since I watched my Titans lose the Super Bowl by 1 yard. Oh, that still hurts. And much like that Super Bowl, I'd slowly come to the realization that that was Gohan's last chance to be a champion. Seriously, the f*** are they doing with him in Super? So there you have it, those were the 5 worst things about the Buu Saga, at least according to me. I know that all parts of Dragon Ball have their faults, but the ones in the Buu Saga are definitely the most glaring. Now with that being said, I'm gonna get back to work in the next video. Hope all y'all out there have a great rest of your weekend, and I'll see you in the next one, okay? See ya!